What's up, everybody? Ed Hood here. Just want to give you a quick update on my job exploits. So, I have been going through an interview with one of the world's top identity providers, and when the recruiter reached out to me, he asked me what my salary expectations would be. And I told him, it depends on the situation, what I'm going to be doing, what am I responsible for. And I said, probably ground floor 41. And he said, all right, that sounds good. And then, so long story short, all right, I pass his interview. Then I'm on to the second guy. And this is, I guess, this next guy's a guy I'm going to be working for directly. I go through his interview. Everything goes great. All right. Then I get moved on to the third interview, which is two ladies, two executive level women, and that interview goes great, right? And so that after that interview, after the fourth interview, uh, the recruiter calls me back and says, "It sounds like everything's went great, Ed. We're going to move forward with an offer, so you should be receiving an offer today or tomorrow." I'm like, "Oh, awesome! Thank you so much." He said, "But I just want you to know that could you remind me again what your salary expectations were?" I said, "Yeah, I mean my ground floor was 41." He said, "Well, what's your ceiling?" I said, "Well, 64." And so he said, "Okay, man, we're gonna put you in something more than that, but yeah, thank you." So I'd say less than an hour later, he calls me back and says, "Oh well, Ed, unfortunately, there's another person who needs to interview, so you're still in the hiring process. Um, we can't extend an offer yet until after we get the go ahead from this other guy." So the fifth interview, which is which was an interesting situation because he's a former Air Force vet, and we were sitting there swapping war stories for about 10 minutes into the interview, and then we get into the weeds of the interview, and he's talking to me about expectations. And then come to find out, um, all through the interviews before I get to this point, they're telling me that it's a non-reporting position. Like there's nobody who's going to be reporting to me, right? On the last final interview, the fifth interview, I find out that I got 12 technicians in the entire state reporting to me. I'm like, oh, okay, great, awesome. I mean, I can do that, but just didn't know that until now. So, um, I passed that interview, and he said, "Yeah, I look forward to having you on the team." Then my recruiter contacts me and says, "Sounds like the final interview went well. We want to move forward with your interview, with your offer, and you should receive something by Friday, close of business, or Monday." Friday comes, goes. Okay, a little nerve wracking, all right, because this is a lot of money, right? We're talking about 41.64 an hour. I was like, okay, I'll just wait till Monday. So in the meantime, I'm telling my friends and family, I was like, man, this company pays like just great, because I'll be managing one of the second biggest accounts for this $5 billion company, right? So I'm stoked. Uh, Monday comes, 12 o'clock gets here, no offer letter. 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, no offer letter. 4 o'clock comes, offer letter drops. I open it up, $75,000. And I was like, what is this? I'm just in shock, right? And then my recruiter calls. And he says, "Hey, yeah, the paperwork the paperwork should be in your inbox. Check it out." I was like, "Yeah, about that. This is not what we talked about." He said, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "This is 75." And he said, "Yeah, I mean, you said that your ceiling was 64." I said, "An hour." 41,000 or $41 an hour is my ground floor. So this whole time, this recruiter thought I was talking about 41,000 a year, and 64,000 a year, not dollars an hour. Because as most of you know, for you've been out there, a lot of times it's hourly rate they're probably looking at, not salary. So you don't want to talk about an awkward silence and like just an awkward situation between him and I. Like it was just like, what? And by the way, this guy has messed up a lot of things in the time being. All right, he sent the wrong resume. There was two different resumes. There's one that was auto-generated by Indeed, and then there's one that was actually approved by Sam Stuber and the rest of the team, and it was like my really good resume that highlights my management skills. Well, I had to physically send that good resume to the people that are interviewing me, saying, "Hey, the recruiter sent you the wrong resume," and so I think that's what saved my butt. Um, Couple pointers for you out there. All right, make sure, because right now they had to cancel my offer letter, and we're gonna reissue because the recruiter was like, this has never happened to me in 30 years, and blah blah. I'm like, okay, whatever. Um, so he says, yeah, I mean, I just want to make sure. I want to get this right because if I don't get this right, I'm looking for another job. He said, what are you looking for? And I said, 85 a year, $41 an hour. He's like, okay. So he got the approval from the two managers above him. Um, and he said it just has to go through finance. So hopefully everything's going to be okay, and I'll be able to start work here in the next few weeks. But the offer letter hadn't dropped again yet. But like I said, some pointers. All right. Make sure that if you're talking about 41 or whatever your hourly rate is you're discussing, make sure it's clearly understood that it's an hourly rate or it's a salary. So 41 an hour or 41,000 a year. Make sure that's good. Make sure that when a company sends out your resume to whoever's going to be hiring you and you see that traffic, if you do see that traffic, make sure it's the right resume. Because I guarantee you, had they sent that resume that the recruiter sent that was auto-generated, I probably would not have got through the process. So just keep an eye out on that stuff. Don't trust other people to act in your best half because this guy was on vacation. He didn't really care. He's like, oh, let me just grab Ed's resume and toss it out. No, it was not done right. So be diligent, very diligent on communication with companies. I hope this helps some people. Also, something else that I did is I wore a three-piece suit to my interview. I had good lighting. I had a special light that you can buy at Walmart. You can hook your smartphone up to it and it actually has LEDs that shine on your face. You want to have good lighting. And dress like you want to own the company. Don't wear a polo shirt, no interview. Try to get a suit. You don't have to wear a suit. Get a coat, a button-down shirt, and a tie. And make sure you're well kempt. If you're a person that shave that face. For you guys, ladies, I'm not going to tell you to take care of yourselves. I'm sure you know how. Yeah, so just walk into the interview confident. Like when you put that ass down there, act like it's a bargain. Like, $41 an hour. That's a bargain. So don't underestimate yourself. Don't underestimate your training, and you're going to get a great opportunity headed your way. So I appreciate watching this video and leave some feedback below.